Good day, this is Ray. Today is Saturday, December 17th, 2022 for me, another day of social distancing. Hope that you, your family, friends, and loved ones are doing well, staying safe. If you haven't watched my previous videos, I was diagnosed with lupus back in May of 2019. Hospitalized 6 times within a period of 2 years for various reasons related to lupus. I stepped down from the role of management, going back into a prior role that I worked for years with my company, and took a bit of a financial hit, accrued a lot of debt, consumer debt, credit cards, student loan, which is the biggest part of my debt, auto loan, medical debt. So it was last year that I met Brad at ZeroDebtCoach.com, and at that time decided to really get a hold of my finances, and he really explained it very well, and I connected right away to what he was saying, and then I joined his courses. It has a lot of material on not only budgeting, but starting an online business, and it's just so much content that he has that's really been beneficial to me. So I've been budgeting for about a year, 8-9 months roughly, and that's been huge because it really made me look at how much I have and how to actually allocate every dollar to do what it's supposed to do, or assign the dollar to do what it's supposed to do, and not be overwhelmed with the debt, as well as dealing with my day-to-day expenses, which includes medications, doctor's appointments, fuel, a mortgage, HOA fee, internet, cable, gas, electricity, all those things. It's not as overwhelming, and once again, I'm not a 6-figure earner, and I'm dealing with these health issues. But one of the things that I had to deal with, and if you decide to deal with your finances in a serious way, one of the things you have to face is knowing exactly where you are, knowing how much debt you're in, seeing that number, and either being freaked out and intimidated by it, or feeling at relative ease, because we're all in different places. You may be a 6-figure earner, high 6-figure earner, low 6-figure earner, making $50,000 or less. We're all in different places. But excuse me, once you actually see the number, it makes things a little less intimidating. So, for example, I don't have the exact number with me, but February of 2021, I was looking at over $97,000 worth of consumer debt. Now, when I saw that, I was about to cry. I was like, good gracious, that, what am I supposed to do about that? Some people are dealing with a lot more than that. As a matter of fact, I'm dealing with a lot more than that because I just took on a mortgage this year actually. I closed on my home December of 2021, made my first mortgage payment February of this year. So my debt is a lot higher, but I'm focused on dealing and getting rid of that consumer debt. Then I can focus on paying off my mortgage. And there are a number of ways to do that. So one of the things that I should have done earlier, and I did do relatively early on, was get rid of my retail cards, my store cards. They had some of the highest interest rates, above 22%, some as high as 29%, and it was just impossible to pay down those credit cards. So I took out a loan to consolidate those, and it was probably the best decision for me at the time, because there was no way for me to do a snowball debt pay down method with as much as I was paying towards the cars. So for example, I had an Amazon card, I had a Fortiva card, a Home Depot, I had a JCPenney card, I had a Mattress Firm card, I had a Woodwind and Brasswind card for instruments and everything, and an Office Depot card. And there was just so much trying to keep up with paying those that it was just impossible to do that. So once again, I consolidated those cards. I had heard before that if you close credit cards that it'll really hurt your credit. But I also have other credit cards that were also part of the consolidation. But I keep those open and I use those in my day-to-day purchases. But I pay those off before the statement due date. Because I budget everything before I spend it. I budget for it, so I'm not using those credit cards to go further into debt. So anyway, after I paid off those credit cards, I immediately closed those. They tried to make offers to lower the interest rate, and I wasn't hearing it. I was like, you know what? Yeah, that's cool and all, but close them suckers. I'm done. And I feel great about that. I feel no shame about closing that card. You know, a lot about being in debt, too, is dealing with shame. And not knowing of how to budget and how to take every dollar and make it count. I don't have that shame anymore. I did for quite a while. But now I don't, because I'm tackling it. And that's the same thing with my health. I felt a lot of shame when I went from 195 pounds down to 145 pounds within a period of a few months. Didn't want to show my face. As a matter of fact, even fairly recently, you know, being underweight and having to explain to people, it's like, you know, are you okay? It's like, well, I'm actually dealing with an autoimmune disease, and you know, and that's another thing. Don't talk about people's weight. You never know what they're going through. You know, whether they're heavy or skinny, just don't talk about it. You know, you can definitely ask them how they're doing, see how they're doing, but don't ask about the weight. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. If you can, if you're in a position to, and if you're in a position to be able to get a consolidated loan to do that, great. If not, don't do that. I would suggest actually getting a financial coach. Brad, he's been great for me. And I've had to have conversations with him to make sure I wasn't making rash decisions. And I find it very important, and I will talk about this in a later video, of having a financial coach. For years, I was a musician, and I had music teachers. I was even a music teacher. And I would pay my teachers, or my parents would pay my teachers, to become better at that craft. And, you know, budgeting, getting your finances in order, getting on the road to financial peace. I could definitely see why it's important to invest in this. I'm going to invest in having in cooking, because I'm a terrible cook and I'm trying to get better at it. But, you know, if I can get a little bit extra help, that's going to be worth that investment. I don't eat out. You know, that's not something that happens. If it does happen, it may be once in a month or two, but it's not often, because I don't budget for that. I don't set aside money for eating out. I set aside money for building back up my emergency fund, which I've talked about in a previous video, making sure that you have an emergency fund just in case emergencies happen, because they do. Your refrigerator might go out, your washer and dryer might go out, your hot water heater, you may face a health emergency, plumbing issues, whatever. They happen. And if that happens, you don't want to rely on your credit cards, because that's going to drive you further back into debt. And I'm grateful to say, in the time that I have been keeping track of my finances, February 2021, I have not gone backwards in my debt payoff. I've been consistent in paying that down. Today, I'm at just a little bit under $68,000, so $67,900, roughly around that. I paid off $29,000 in consumer debt last year. I'm on pace to pay off $15,000 total debt, $10,000 consumer debt. The pace is a little bit slower this year because I took on a mortgage, other bills that I'm having to deal with, but I'm starting to get in the flow, starting to build up my emergency fund again. I think hopefully by March or April of next year, I have my emergency fund to where I feel comfortable with accelerating my debt pay down again. But anyway, this video has been a lot longer than I even wanted it to be. If you made it this far, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. You'll know when I post my videos, which is normally on Saturdays for now. Going forward, I may post more videos in a week. It really doesn't matter to me. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Take care.